はい、第2選挙区、テーマ第2選挙区では、越川康晴に投票をお願いします。ということで、この状況をですね、単に日本だけではなくて、世界に発信するという意味がある。というのは、この、高市早苗のですね、よくわかってない経済政策を注視してるわけですよ。ね。世界が。で、まだ円安になるんだと。で、これ行き着くとね、ヘッジファンドにやられるんですよ。皆さん。円フライトになる可能性があるね。そういったことも、海外に発信していかないといけないわけ。なので、ちょっと英語で、やってみようと思うんだけど、この AI のトランスレーションを I'll make use of it.Then, listen to my broken English. I'm sorry for that, but this is correct と言ってるね。これは very insightful observation. My question is, who planned it? Abenomics. Is that Abe Shinzo who planned it? No, that's not true. Then, while Shinzo Abe was a characteristic salesman だったんですよ。彼はアベノミクスのセールスマンだった。And who branded and executed the policy, the actual intellectual blueprint was drawn by a group of economics known as his brains, advisors. To explain this using another analogy, if Abenomics was the massive skyscraper, Abe was the developer CEO who secured the funding and convinced the public to move in. But he wasn't the architect who drew the structural plans. Here are the true architects who designed the three arrows. 3本の矢 in Japanese. The grand architect Koichi Hamada, who was a professor emeritus at Yale University, is widely considered the primary theoretical father of Abenomics. The role he provided economic legitimacy for the first arrow, bold monetary policy. 大胆な金融政策ってことですね。In Japanese, the logic. For years, Hamada argued that Japan's deflation was a monetary phenomenon caused by the Bank of Japan's lack of action. He convinced Abe that the central bank printed enough money and set a clear inflation target. The economy would finally wake up. The project manager はね、越尾本田という人だ。これは知らなかった、私も。I didn't know the name of 越尾本田。越尾本田, former special advisor to the cabinet, was the bridge between academic theory and political action. The role he was the one who actually sold the reflationary theory to Abe while he was still in the opposition.Actually, Abe was opposed to that position, you know. It's very interesting. The logic Honda is a staunch reflationist. He believed that changing people's expectations about the future, making them believe prices would rise, was the only way to trigger spending. He was instrumental in appointing Haruhiko Kuroda.He's a director, chief executive of Bank of Japan as the governor of the Bank of Japan to pull the trigger. The structural engineers, the relationship group, the other figures included Koichi Takahashi and Kikuo Iwata. They provided the technical data and the ammunition Abe needed to fight the Ministry of Finance and the Traditional Bank of Japan leadership, who were skeptical of these radical measures. Why? The distinction matters. Abe's genius wasn't in economic theory, it was in marketing and power. He was a salesman, I said. He's a marketing man. It's a very important capability of politician. The three arrows metaphor. This was a stroke of branding genius taken from a famous story of the Mori clan. In Japanese history, it made complex macroeconomics, monetary easing, fiscal stimulus, growth strategy easy for the average voter to understand. Overcoming the bureaucracy. That's a very important point. An academic like Honda Hamada couldn't have forced the Bank of Japan to change it. It took Abe's political drill to force the system to adapt the advisor's theories. This is very, very important character and face of the Bank of Japan and bureaucracy. Summary, intellectual core, Koichi Hamada and Etsuo Honda, the designers. Political face, Shinzo Abe, the executor. This is why when critics talk about the failure or success of Abenomics, they are often debating Hamada's theory but blaming Abe's leadership. Actually, Professor Hamada apologized for his misleading. At the end, I remember that that was just 1 year after the Abenomics announcement. And he was a very sincere person, I think. ということでですね、これ世界に発信し、いかにサナエノミクスというのが焼き直しであって、土台から間違ってるかっていうことを、ヘッジファンドはちゃんと掴んで売りを浴びせてくるということでございますから、ますます皆さんの生活は厳しくなるということをご理解ください。